Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back. It's Sunday night, which means one thing. 5 days to go. 5 whole days. Less than 120 hours till the League One season kicks off at Oakwell on Friday evening under the lights. Nothing better. And we're here tonight to look at the opening weekend of the season. And who else to do it with than my good old pal, Jake _Tong 98. Is that like your real name by default, that Jake? You could do with unmuting yourself, mate.
Well, you muted me and then decided not to do it.
I think what we'll do, I've got an idea. To make the show better, I'm always looking for an improvement. We'll just pop you on mute and then you can unmute yourself about 9 o'clock. There's a good lad.
By the way, just go on full screen, Ben, for you.
Why?
Just do it.
No.
Just do as you're told, please. How dusty is your mic? Just look.
What do you mean?
Look on full screen and show the people. It's disgusting. Clean your microphone. Look at. How do you get yours so mucky?
I'll just take it everywhere with me.
It's phenomenal. But yes, mate, I'm good. T-Flock was back this week, which was interesting, wasn't it? That's out tomorrow. But we are officially in game week number 1 for League One.
Wow.
And I am buzzing, mate. Get me on that terrace in Burton. Get me to that pub. I don't know. What's it called, Ben? You'd have been there.
Oh, no.
Do you know the pub I mean, though? It's on an angle, isn't it? Near the ground. Yeah. Get me there on Saturday. I can't wait. Although I am a bit annoyed it's 5:30 kickoff. But such is life. Looking forward to it.
I bet you are. Let us know if you can see and hear us okay. Please give the stream a like while you're joining. Good evening. Hello, Links. How are you, mate? Hope you're well. Hello, James. Welcome to the stream. Can see and hear you. Sue's already one step ahead. That's what I love about her. You read, come on, Barnsley. A bit of boxing on yesterday at Oakwell as well. Hopefully they show the same fighting spirit this year. Good evening, one and all. Hello, John, who's a blue nose. Yes, you could say that. He makes YouTube videos. That's why I do it. Yes, exactly. I must have used this microphone about 500 times. Hello, Charlie. Welcome to the chat. Hello, Darren. Hope you're well. Again, get your comments in down below. Let's start with them, mate. Barnsley, Mansfield. Mansfield, welcome to League 2. After long, hard years in League 2, trying to get out of it. You've had playoff drama, missing out on the playoffs. You finally got out. Davis Keeler done, scoring a crap load of goals. Unbelievable the way they got into this division in the end. They got the job done. Didn't look like they're going to do it at one stage, around about March, April time. They thought, they're going to do it again. They got over the line. They're going to play a Barnsley side that know this league. 2 playoff defeats in recent years. 1 in the final, 1 in the semi-final. What do you make of this one, mate, at Oakwell?
Well, personally, I'm hoping for the Barnsley put on the similar sort of show they did on opening day last season against Port Vale, where they hit him for 7. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. Barnsley at home, they'll be wanting to get off the mark under Darryl Clark. A couple of new signings in the team you'd expect, and maybe Craig to start, maybe not Hurahan. But I look at Barnsley and think they still need strikers. You made the excellent point to me on the phone last night, and then also on T-Flock today that Max Watters and Sam Cosgrove have scored a combined 6 goals and what is it, 13
18 starts. They both made 9 starts last year. I know they got Watters and McAtee, and they've got young Aidan Marsh up there as well.
Yeah, and for Mansfield, well, I mean, my 1-24 has come out slightly before yours tomorrow.
It's convenient, that, mate. Yeah.
Well, I've had mine, actually, I've had mine. Anyway, I've planned mine for a while anyway. But Mansfield, I do worry about them. It's a big game. No doubt the Stags will take probably 2,000 or 3,000, maybe 2,500 there on a Friday night. It's hard to look past the Barnsley win, isn't it? Barnsley is so experienced at this level. Mansfield newly promoted. But it should make all the reasons for a good game. Looking forward to sitting down just over there and watching it on Friday night.
Absolutely so. Birmingham City, a lot has been made about them. They sold a lot more season tickets than they did last year. They brought a lot of good players in. Williamson, Alfie May, Mark Leonard, just to name 3 of which. unbelievable
Because you
signing.
can't name the other ones.
No, I was number 3 because we've got an hour show tonight, mate, and we need to stick to an hour. Blues at home, opening day against Reading, packed out St Andrews, new manager in charge. It's the type of game that Reading will feel they can go in there, sit, frustrate, and really kind of get the backs up in. At Birmingham, there's a lot of pressure on them to win this game of football because a lot of expectation, but you need to start well. I know it's a 46-game season, but you're starting well. That first game in League One after getting relegated is vital if you want to make the right stamp of the authority, because then you are chasing tails for that first victory. They've had a good Reading side that have no incomes, but they haven't really lost any major. Femi Aziz still at the football club, Lewis Wing, Sam Smith, Harvey Nibbs, Charlie Savage. All still at the football club, the kind of the 5 or 6 main key players, should you like. But this should be a good game. Looking forward to seeing a packed out St Andrews. Welcome to League One Birmingham City. You don't want to be here, but you are here, so you got to make the most of it, and it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I've just seen my Blue Nose supporting mate has just joined your chat. So hello, Nevs. I hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, he ignore him. He don't know anything. He's a Blue Nose. But yeah, I think it's going to be good. It'll be exciting for those Blue Noses that are going to St Andrews next Saturday. I think, like you say, new manager, new squad. I think they should probably give it. If they're not 1-0 up in 10 minutes, I think they need to be patient because, like you say, Reading will go there and frustrate. We've seen it so many times last year that Reading are able to stay in games and they're able to hit on the counter with the likes of Nibbs and Smith on the counter attack. They also have Aziz still. He's not left the club. And Lewis Wing orchestrating. So I think it's going to be a tough test for Blues. However, you'd think the quality that they've got with Leonard maybe pulling the strings, with Thor, with Hansen, with Cochrane, with May, whoever it is, Pake that plays, or whatever starting 11 they play, maybe they might give Lee Buchanan a run out. They should get the job done. But it's going to be an exciting day down at St Andrews, that's for sure. It's start of a new era. They can put the mid-table mediocrity in the Championship behind them and look forward to a promotion-winning season, hopefully, for those, 20-odd thousand Blues fans that will be there on Saturday.
Just saying, by the way, about 15 months ago, me and Jake sat here and we told Ipswich fans to be patient when they played Exeter at Portman Road, because that day, all they needed to do was win the game to go up. Right, and we said, if you don't score in the first 10, 20 minutes, be patient. After 22 minutes, the score was Ipswich Town 4, Exeter 0. So Birmingham fans, maybe expect the same, because when me and Jake tell you to be patient, then Blues, but I'm excited. Birmingham are a massive club for this level, and I think the manager, he came out and said, you need to be careful about being a big fish in a small pond. And, clubs of the size of Birmingham have come down to this level before. And that's what makes League One so exciting. You get the odd, big giant, don't you, for the level like Birmingham, Sunderland, Ipswich, Portsmouth, those types of clubs as well. And then you kind of get your decent standard clubs as well. But I think right now, no offence to Birmingham, I'd want to play them in the first 6, 7, 8 games of the season as they're getting going. I think the worst time to play them would be November, December, January, February time when they get into a groove. Yeah. So, that's when you've got them.
That's all.
Yeah, that's you. But I think they've got to realise that Championship clubs go to St Andrews, and no disrespect, it's a nice little setup they've got there. It was not little, but it's a nice setup they've got there. And it's like they play in those grounds mostly 20 times out of 24 a season to that standard. Clubs don't normally play in the side of Birmingham's ground. It's like when they go to Pride Park, when they went to go Fratton Park, they up the game a little bit. And it's like, sometimes it works and they thrive, and sometimes it doesn't. They'll go into the caves a little bit. So Birmingham fans are just be different with the expectation of clubs coming to you as well. That's one thing I will say. But looking forward to it. I think Reading will go there with a plan. I think that they're going to be decent this season. I really do believe that. We'll talk about Bristol Rovers now. They've got a home fixture against Northampton Town. Our League One table predictions are out tomorrow. I've done one separately. I'm just in the process of editing that, so it should be out tomorrow at 4 p.m, all being well. Bristol Rovers have signed Promise Omocheri and Isaac Hutchinson as a couple of their signings as well. They signed Moller from Reading as well, a good little window. Northampton have re-signed Callum Morton and Tom Eves as well has come to the football club. Top goal scorer for Rotherham in the Championship last year with 6. Decent game this. Bristol Rovers, in the last few years, been known for a little bit of a slip-up. They played Forest Green a couple of years ago at them and lost 2 goals to 1. That was Forest Green Rovers' only away win of the season, wasn't it? And it came. So you can get performances like this. Bristol Rovers had a major turnaround, expectation back up there. And the Ginger Ronaldo goes to the men with Northampton.
Yeah, it's one that Rovers fans will be expecting to win, given Northampton's recruitment this summer. I think I've been really impressed with Bristol Rovers. I think they've added a real youthfulness to their team. I think you look at a lot of their signings, a lot of them are under the age of 25.
Yeah,
and have come off the back of having good seasons. I think Clinton Mulder was decent for Reading, like you mentioned. Isaac Hutchinson double figures for goals and assists for Walsall in League Two last year. Dan Edison as well coming in from Chippenham. So, yeah, I think it'll be one that Rovers will want to win. I think they'll probably be the favourites. Northampton, we've had a bit of reservations, haven't we, Ben, me and you, about their transfer window. It's not thrilled me as of yet. They're looking to work on a deal for a young lad from Crystal Palace this afternoon, though, from my understanding. I'm not sure what he's going to add, but you think they had a better base than most teams at the bottom of League One, so you'd think they'd be all right this season at some point. So, yeah, I think that would be fascinating. Maybe one that won't stand out in the memory. I think it'll probably be a narrow gas win, but it's so important to get off to, especially when you're playing at home, to get off to a good start, because that can really take you off. But Northampton are definitely a team that I'm worried about.
Yeah. Next up, Burton Albion against Lincoln City. Pat the Pirelli, a nice little process. 3 months, new manager, new owners, about 18 new players. A lot of time to gel. They played a lot behind closed doors. Fixtures that came from 2-0 down to League Two, Morecambe to draw 2-2 in pre-season yesterday. Some really good signings in there. The likes of Orsi in there, kind of probably been the standout one, as well as signing Elliot Watt with 24 assists in all competitions for League Two Salford. Never played in Sky Bet League One, though. That is one thing that's worth mentioning. Play the Imps. Now, I said before on that Football League podcast, go and give that a little follow if you haven't already. I said before this game kind of reminds me of where Lincoln started their little bit of a rise again into the playoffs. You obviously got the good three. You drew 3 games, one away at Wycombe where Ethan Aaron scored in the 98th minute. You drew both home games with both 0-0 to Derby County, and obviously the massive cup final against Peterborough United, which an unbelievable victory for the Imps, getting 1 point on that occasion. If you were to ask Darren Ferguson, that is of course. And then you went away at Burton and won by a goal to 0, had 10 men for a large portion.
Who scored, Ben? Read to the wine.
When the crowds, was it Alex Mitchell who got sent off?
Mitchell got sent off.
Yeah, Alex Mitchell got sent off as well, and you went on an unbelievable run after that. I think you won 7 of the next 10, and got in, obviously just outside the playoffs in the end. So I think it's a great time to play Burton. You're obviously, I think, my prediction for League One, I think, rectifies that Lincoln are a good club that staturify in League One, that know what they're doing, that have brought in players that are experienced at this league, but young gems that have been in the league below, the likes of JJ McKieran, who I was asked about before. I think he's an outstanding talent. I think he got 7 in 28 for Morecambe, 4-year deal as well. Tom Hayne was an excellent signing, long throw, physical, can play right back, right wing back, right midfield, centre midfield, CDM, can literally do a job anywhere as well. Dino Manria, high praise of them. Your goalkeepers as well. So I'm very impressed by both of these teams' business. I'm actually more impressed with Lincoln's business than I am Burton's, because I think that Burton have gone out and bought a whole new team. They've gone and signed good players, but Lincoln only needed to add the 5 or 6 players to the team. They've got a decent. I think Lincoln have lost 3 of their best 4 players from last year. In one being Joe Taylor, who was on loan. Then Lass Sorensen, who was the best right wing back in the league. Sorry, which one's a Lincoln fan here? And then Lucas Jensen, the goal.
Who was the best keeper in the league?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Oh my! I'm spending too much time with you, boy. I'm spending too much time with you. You and Sue. Sue, a few brownies for that, yeah. Brownie points.
You wait till we start talking about Ethan Aaron.
But then obviously you kept Ethan Aaron, which is massive for you. But you've added players, of course. I think Lincoln are a strike away from a 9 out of 10 window. I really do believe that. Burton, good window again. Looking forward to this matchup.
Yeah, me too, mate. I think it's going to be an exciting one. Like you, I think it's the right time to play Burton. Obviously, there'll be the hype around the Pirelli, as you would understand, with the new ownership, the new manager. And like David said, I don't underestimate Burton. I think they'll be a good side. I think they'll challenge us, certainly. But it takes a lot of time for all them players to gel together into a squad. I know you can have all these pre-season friendlies, but it might not work. Whereas Lincoln have only added sort of 5 or 6. Good job. You don't.
All I'm going to say, Jake, I told him. That's all I'm going to say.
You told him, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's going to be good, mate. Obviously, like you mentioned, I think the areas where we've strengthened are adding depth, because if you look at the injury crisis that we had last year, we had no strikers for 3 months, and we've added Rob Street, and well, I would say we've added Tyler Walker, but he's not really fit. But Jovan McCarma's emerged in pre-season, and then in midfield, you mentioned there we've added Bayliss, McKiernan, Jeffries, McGrandles as well. So. Yeah, lots to look forward to. Good game for us to play, I think, first and foremost. Sold out away end. It will be decent. But you know, I'm a Lincoln fan. We're all expecting our team to win on the first game of the season, and I'm no different. I think we can go to Burton and win. We tend to do pretty well at the Pirelli, so have a feeling we might be walking with 3 points.
It's just the first time you're a bit of a Fleetwood fan as well this weekend as well.
I'm a Fleetwood fan next week through and through, mate. I will be dropping into Grimsby Facebook groups, and I will be linking all your socials, mate, trying to get them to come over and watch. But up the cods.
No, so if you are new to the channel, there's 75 currently watching. We're at 25 likes. Drop me a like; it really does help. Go to other people's kind of suggested videos as well. And we are 175 subscribers away from 15,000. We've got my League One 1 to 24 predictions dropping tomorrow. So subscribe down below, get notifications on as well. I'd love to hit 15,000 subscribers. This is your home of League One Live. Every Sunday night, we are here at 8 o'clock. So please subscribe down below. It would mean more to me than you will know. Free to do so. Crawley Town against Blackpool. Crawley, welcome to League One. 8 of your 11 have left you. That started at Wembley. We won't go on about that. We've gone on about that all summer. But they've signed the likes of Junior Turner and Hepburn Murphy, which are good signings, and Flint as well. Blackpool have signed Ashworth, the lad Coulson, who played 17 times last year as well. They've re-signed Jordan Rhodes and Ashley Fletcher. In the last 4 years, though, Ashley Fletcher has only started 25 games and appeared in 72 of which, and he scored 4 goals. That bloke needs to find a home and needs to get firing, and I think at Blackpool he can do so. Jordan Rhodes scored 17 goals for the Seasiders last season, so he'll be open to rectify something along those lines, but hopefully get to 20. He did miss the last 8 to 10 games due to injury, though, and that may just put a damper in the Blackpool playoff hopes, although they did end the season quite well, although they lost at Reading on the final day of the season. Blackpool against Crawley away at the Broadfield. Looking forward to this. Tight stadium, Crawley at home. I think this is a fixture they wanted first.
Well, yeah, and also you got to remember that Blackpool's horrific record on the road last season. So going to a place like Crawley on the first day, yes, they've sold a lot of the main players that got them promoted. It's going to be a tough one. Like you mentioned, though, that they've stuck with their recruitment model, haven't they? They've recruited from lower leagues, the likes of Malarkey. Don't start hyping him up.
My favourite co-host. How well did Josh do last week?
Yeah, he did very well. I'm looking forward to the part where I get all the praise at the end of the show, like Josh did. So looking forward to that. But yeah, no. I think
Sheffield Wednesday fans.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday fans, Derby fans. Who else do I annoy? I'm pretty sure.
Fleetwood fans.
Anyone
League One table up.
Fans who have a pair of lungs and have a heart,
Lincoln fans.
They're the people that annoy. So, yeah, no, I think for Blackpool, it's a difficult game, but one that they'll feel that they can go and win. For Crawley, they'll want to be at home, like you mentioned. Tight atmosphere. Cheers, Josh. Thank you, mate. We don't all get relegated like you and Nappers do. I'll text Nevy about that, so don't worry about it. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game. I think Crawley will fancy the chances. I think Blackpool will fancy the chances, but intrigued to see, because Blackpool, like you mentioned, probably need a little bit more. Whereas for Crawley, we've got no idea, have we, really, to be honest?
No, I can see that as well. Exeter City against Rotherham. Rotherham have also come down from the Championship. They've signed 4 promotion winners over the last 2 years: Cameron Dawson, Reece James, Sean Raggett, and Joe Rafferty. 2 from Portsmouth, 2 from Sheffield Wednesday as well. And also signed Johnson Clark Harris, who won promotion a few years ago at this level as well. So they've got promotion winners. They've got Steve Evans in charge as well. Iron Brew and Club Bars, if you're listening to Lee Frecklington, that it will be quite on the radar as well. But no, Steve Evans is a good manager at League One level. He knows what he's onions. He knows what he's doing. Extra tough start though, especially opening day as well. They ended last season winning 6 of the final 10, only losing 1 on the final day to Oxford, who got into the playoffs and ended up winning promotion. Not that we've heard anything about that off Jack Ward Football Podcast. Jake, give me your thoughts.
Yeah, could have done with Exeter winning that last game of the season, really, couldn't we? Because then Oxford wouldn't be where they are. But yeah, these are 2 teams that I quite like the business of, to be honest. I'm excited for this one. Exeter really strong at home with that big bank behind the goal. I think they'll make it difficult for Rotherham. But like you say, Rotherham just got so much experience in the ranks with Steve Evans. You know what type of football they're going to play. I actually think Exeter might be able to counter it really well. They've got a lot of good ball playing players in that side, the likes of Ed Francis. And Mitchell won't be fit, but do you know what I mean? They've got lots of good ball playing players in the squad that I think might be able to counter. But Rotherham, with the experience that they've got, it'll be difficult. So, looking forward to seeing how they get on. However, we can't give Steve Evans' sides too much praise, can we? Or else I'll get in bother with my own section of supporters. Are you flash up that comment by Sam? You are in bother, Mr. Natman. You're in bother. You're in bother, Nappers. You're on the floor next time.
Leyton Orient against Bolton Wanderers. Bolton Wanderers obviously lost in the playoff final last year. There's been a lot said about Wanderers this window, and Bolton fans are great. Don't get me wrong; they turn up in the droves, and been there through the good times, been through there for the bad times. The allocation at Wembley was unbelievable; did very well. However, I think throughout the fan base, I think they're a bit more confident after they beat Port Vale away yesterday. Dion Charles got up and running as well. But the very negative on Twitter I found this summer, they found that they might not have done the players that they wanted to. They brought in Luke Southwood, who's a good goalkeeper, back up. They brought in, I'm going to try, a Bulgarian player, Sean.
He's not. We come from Hungary, didn't he? Not
Hungary then. Sean.
I would because it's got an umlaut over the L. I'd probably say it's something like Schöne or something like that. Schöne.
Welcome back to Phoenix. So they signed Lolos, who got 18 goal contributions last year. They've only lost 1 key player. He was on low knee, Parish Magoma. Academy players have been making up the numbers because of Copa America and the Euros as well. I still think they're at a decent window, Bolton. They're a couple away. They know that. I still think they're a good bank for the playoffs. Leyton Orient signed well. Richie Wellens on a new deal. What do you think?
Yeah, Bolton, they're a weird one, aren't they? Because we have such high expectations given the fact that they've made progress over the last sort of 3 years. Shin. I don't know about that. I'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Bolton are strange because, like I say, we expect them to keep making progress under Ian Evatt. I thought last year on the day of the final, I woke up and thought, I think Bolton are going to get promoted today. Obviously, it didn't work out the way they have, and when you lose playoff finals, you'll see it with most teams. You're often a couple of weeks behind with recruitment, and Bolton, clearly, the lack of movement that they've had, haven't got all the business done that they wanted. I'm sure Ian Evatt has sort of said that they've got bids in for players, but because of the Euros and things like that and pre-season tours, it's just been kicked back. So we'll have to wait. But what they've done, I like. They needed a left wing back. They needed somebody to come in as a backup keeper for Baxter because we saw the drop off. Was it Schofield that was in goal? Was it Schofield? Is it Ryan Schofield? There was who was the keeper that went in after Baxter got in? Was it Schofield or was it Pompey? No, it wasn't.
Coleman.
No. John Coleman. Yeah, it wasn't John Coleman, not the Accrington gaffer. He didn't live up to expectations, and that's probably what took Bolton out of the race for the automatic. So I like what they've done. Lolos as well was exceptional at Wembley and has been exceptional in League Two last year. Intrigued to see what the new lads like, but they've kept a lot of the squad together. They've kept Owen Toll so far. They've kept Sheehan. They've kept Dion Charles. So looking forward to seeing how they get on. As for Leyton Orient, it's all about, for me, how they replace Idris El Mazouni. Does Lewis Warrington have the same capabilities as El Mazouni? You'd be able to tell us more, but for me, it's a little bit of a step down. Intrigued to see how they get on, but under Wellens, you think they'll be all right. But this is a tough game, as tough a game as it will come for Leyton Orient.
Warrington's not a bad player, don't get me wrong, but I think
is he Idris El Mazouni?
Idris is up there. I think it's the same as Northampton replacing Mark Leonard with Cameron McGeehan.
Yeah.
Like, I've never really been impressed by Cameron McGeehan at League One level, and I said before to you and Tom, on a private call and on there as well. Good players, don't get me wrong, but not up to the standard, and might be a drop off for their team as well, because I thought El Mazouni was their best player at Leyton Orient last year. Now we're talking about Peterborough, Huddersfield, injury galore. It seems at Peterborough. Rio Adebisi getting injured for 4 months, I believe, long-term injury. They have brought in Jack Sparks, good left back, wing back, can get the ball, you can get up the pitch, good fit enough, and experience at this level as well. Nevitt out for a couple of weeks as well yesterday. There's a couple of others. De Havilland, I think, got injured yesterday as well, who I know only started 5 times. He started against Portsmouth last year when he come in for, was it Cipriano, that weekend when he was either suspended or injured. And it was difficult for him because he's not really played minutes. I know this year, in the under 21, the reserve team games, the players that aren't getting minutes, there's going to be 4 or 5 first team players to get the minutes up. So when they come into the first team, they are ready to play because they're being topped up on minutes. So I like that approach. I still feel like Peterborough 3 or 4 away, but I know they're probably working on that as well. The age actually of the squad seems to have gone down with especially with the signing of Chris Clark, who scored 23 goals in the National League, had an unsuccessful time at Fleetwood and Waterford as well, but at Altrincham in the National League very, very well, and a typical posh signing. And then Cian Hayes as well that has gone into Peterborough as well. Only really started 15, 20 games for Fleetwood, and that was mostly under Craney in 2021-22. The business by Peterborough has been good. There's still a few away, obviously losing Burrows and Ronnie Edwards and Knight for a free agent, and JTH at the top end of the pitch. Huddersfield, come there. This screams to me this could easily be a playoff semi-final or playoff final at the end of the year as well. Duff has gone in there, signed Anthony Evans and a right wing back called Lass Sorensen as well.
Is he?
Yeah, I never really heard of him. Do you think he's good? Yeah, they've signed very well. The smart signings, you've got good forward players. Looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think this is probably going to be the clash of the weekend. And I think Peterborough also played relegated Reading on the opening day of last season, so they've clearly got a thing for playing newly relegated sides on the opening day. But yeah, like you mentioned, Peterborough Brad Hills would be an unbelievable signing for Peterborough if they could get that done. It's the same with Peterborough every year. They're at the start of this 2-year cycle, aren't they, again, where they've had good players, they've built them up for a year, they've had a year where they should probably go up like last year, they haven't, and then all of a sudden they're back at the start of the cycle with, you mentioned, players like Chris Clark, who in 12 months are probably going to be linked for moves to the top end of the Championship or low end of the Premier League, and for multi-millions of pounds, like Mason Clark was, like Burrows was, like Edwards was, and Adebisi is another one that I think has that sort of potential. They're bringing in a lot of academy lads as well. I know they've signed a lad from Man City. I think that's just still to be confirmed, but Peter O'Rourke seems to think that one's done. I like Peterborough's business. I think they'll be up there again. I think the fact that they're Peterborough United in League One means they'll automatically be at the top end of the league because they're such clever operators. For Huddersfield, I'm excited to see what they can do. I think it's the most Michael Duff job that he could have taken in terms of it's a working man's area. They're not bothered about the football that you play. They don't expect you to play tippy-tappy football like they did at Swansea. I think he's able to implement his system really easy, and I think they've backed him in the transfer window. They've brought in the best player who they had a massive hole gaping at right wing back, and they've brought in the best player who could do that in the league. And then at left wing back, they've also added the likes of Mikael Miller. and they've replaced Jack Rodoni, who's gone to Coventry, with Anthony Evans, who's a very good replacement at this level. So they're bringing in very, very tidy players. And for me, this has all the potential, like you say, to be a playoff final. But just even next Saturday, watching this back on the highlights, I think it's going to be one that we're going to probably put right at the top of the show, because there's probably going to be goals and there's probably going to be a lot of action. So this is the game that I'm probably looking forward to most, apart from Burton and Lincoln, obviously.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think it could be a game that we could come back and say they played each other on the opening day and how different the sides were as well. Stevenage against Shrewsbury. Kemp has gone into Lewis Freestone, gone in from Cheltenham as well. Kemp did outstanding for Swindon. Swindon have this thing, don't they, where they sign like a player from a League Two club or on loan, or a League One club. And especially with Ian Doyle, Young, Jerry, obviously, I think they had Jerry Yates, obviously, but then he wasn't on loan, I think it was permanent Jerry Yates. But and then obviously now Kemp as well, being one at the top end of the pitch. And then obviously got recalled at MK, did 3 goals, 3 assists in about 18 games as well. It's an unbelievable signing for Stevenage. They've signed well. Dan Phillips looked an absolute unit, by the way. Imagine Boss and Llewellyn, promise, I'm Dan Phillips on the same pitch. Referee's nightmare. Strong, powerful.
What are you trying to insinuate there, Ben?
I'm not trying to insinuate anything. Strong and powerful. After mistaken identity at thingy, Dan Phillips could be mistaken identity. Again, good signing as well. Shrewsbury. I think Shrewsbury have signed as well as they can do. John Marquis scored 16 and 41 a few years ago for Portsmouth in the 2020-21 season. Since then, only bagged 22 goals in 110 appearances at Lincoln City and Bristol Rovers in there as well. I think if you can get the best out of him, he can score 8 to 10 goals, but you're going to have to play around John Marquis. I like the signing of O'Reilly as well. Josh Feeney, a former Fleetwood player as well, went to Aston Villa for good mate of mine. Friend. Oh, he's not really. I call him my mate. I don't think he calls me his mate.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you know of him. He's not your mate.
Yeah, no, I speak to him sometimes on social media. Well, I speak to myself, really. But no, they've signed very well so far. I like Toby Savin. Morosi's a loss. Small squad, though. 19 players, I think they've got currently. I think they're going to struggle this year. Paul Hurst going in last year did an unbelievable job. They've lost Udo up front, who did score in the last 3 and 7 after when Paul Hurst came back into the football club. Still got some good players at the football club. I still think they're going to be strong. And they could have Feeney at the back. A bit like Bennett and Bennett at Cambridge last year.
Yeah, no, I don't know about this one. Stevenage, like you mentioned, I think some of their business is good. I like Louis Appere. I think he's going to be a hard-working striker. I think he'll be the perfect foil to Jamie Reid. Dan Kemp adds a bit of creativity that they missed when Jordan Roberts wasn't on the pitch last year. They've also been linked with a move with Jake Young as well, like you just mentioned there, who was at Swindon, to reunite Kemp and Young. And we all saw what that did in League 2 last season. So that could be interesting if they can get that over the line. Shrewsbury, I mean, you'll see in my 1 to 24 that comes out tomorrow morning that I'm concerned for them. I really am. They've lost some big players. They've kept Shipley. That's good that they've kept him. But they've lost Bayliss, who was one of their best players. They've lost Danny Doe, who was the goal scorer. Don't roll your eyes at me, Benjamin. I think they're in bother. By all accounts, this Tommy O'Reilly fella from Aston Villa has had a really good pre-season. But for me, they've got a bit of work to do. Toby Savin, I don't know if he's quite ready for the step up into League One as of yet. I'm really intrigued to see how Bayliss wasn't poor for Shrewsbury. It was last season, but not the year before. For me, I think
a good signing.
Hey,
it fits.
John Nolan,
Jordan Rossiter.
Oh, Jordan Rossiter, if he can stay fit. But the issue with Jordan Rossiter, Ben, as you well know, and Charlie, who's in the chat, will know, he plays about 6 games and then gets injured for a year. So
a bloke ran the length of Africa, like someone said, while he was injured. Like he's 27. He's played 110 career appearances.
Yeah,
so been in the game 10 years.
I'm concerned about Shrewsbury. I thought Paul Hurst added a bit of bite towards the back end of last season. I mean, they were completely abject by the time they came and played us at Central Bank. But I think they've got a bit of work to do. For me, they still need to add that creative spark. I think there's no one that's really replaced Bayliss in terms of those creative numbers. So, looking forward, and maybe worried about what they do, because I think they're going to have to use the loan market really well.
Yeah. Stockport County, welcome to League One. Played Cambridge United. Michael Mellon has apparently done, was it his ACL?
Yeah,
Out for the season. So that's my thoughts go to Michael Mellon and everyone around him as well. But Stockport County have got Dwight Gale on trial and
Ollie Norwood.
Ollie Norwood, you're from Sheffield United, who played in the Premier League last year, a bit like Luke Berry going to Charlton. Played 17 times for Luton in the Premier League and started a game in the Premier League last year as well. I really think Stockport could do something special this year. I think Dave Challen is one of the best managers in the EFL, let alone League One. The job he's done it, filed, got sacked because obviously players left, so he didn't have the budget to replace them. And then Hartlepool, unbelievable job, got promoted. Then 2 promotions in 3 years with Stockport in a playoff final, lost on pens. The thing he's built, the foundations he's built, is a budget this summer. Adai coming in is a great goalkeeper as well. They've added forward options, they've added midfield options, and defensively stand up as well. Got rid of players that were on the books for a number of years as well that have done a job for them. They're playing a Cambridge side that have lost the goal scoring gas and Hadmi, but brought in Shane Lavery, who just needs to stay fit. Only 5 goals last year, 3 if you don't count the ones on the opening day as well. They've got a decent core, Cambridge, but I do think Stockport edge this one.
Yeah, Stockport, we mentioned it last week, Ben. They're probably one of the winners of the transfer market so far with their recruitment. Like you mentioned, Adai, they've brought in Fiorini for a big fee. Lewis Bates coming from Leeds United, Jack Diamond. Really unfortunate with Mellon, because I think he would be a really good option for them at the top end of the pitch. And yeah, like you mentioned, they're in a good location, I think, around Manchester to attract players. I also think the project's really attractive, given they've got 2 promotions in 3 years, a playoff final in there as well, clear progression from the board level as to how they're going to get into the Championship. Because I think you said it last week, you think Stockport County will be a Championship club in the next 3 years. I completely agree with you, the way that they've been run. I think, again, they'll go strong this season, finishing above Wrexham. I remember when we had that conversation when we did one of the roundups, and I said Stockport will finish above Wrexham. And I think I got a funny look, but look at the recruitment that they've done now since it shows that. Cambridge, I like some of the Cambridge recruitment. I know they've lost Gassan, but Taylor Richards lit up this level before with Doncaster. I think Corey Smith played 35 times for a Derby side that got promoted last season and narrowly finished in the playoffs out the playoffs the year before. However, like you mentioned, they don't really have goals in the team, because Chunga, I can't see scoring a load of goals for Jiriok, and Abiri's gone. Cambridge needs some strikers and fast.
Wigan Athletic against Charlton. Charlton recorded one of their not many away wins last year at the DW Stadium on Halloween, 31st of October. 3-2, made our work of it with 3-0 up in that one, and Wigan got 2 second-half goals. Wigan's business, 4 young signings on loan as well. Charlton, great business. We've discussed that in detail. Nathan Jones, a lot of draws towards the end of last season. They were tolerated because he kept him up, and he was always going to stay up, always going to drive out of safety. It was felt, maybe even at one time it wasn't, but we always knew they'd pull away, they'd have enough. What do you reckon of this one? Because 2 good clubs that obviously want to get into the top 6. I think at this moment in time, they both still need a couple more if they do want to achieve this.
Yeah, me too. I've got both of them outside of my top 6 as it stands. Wigan, I like the direction they've gone down. I think they've had some good loanees. I think Ola Kagbe, that came in from Brentford, whilst he's broken his leg, I think he showed flashes at Peterborough last year. Joe Hugel, apart from that 1 goal that he scored on Sky for Burton away at Derby, didn't seem to do
it. Though, in a tough period.
Yeah, absolutely. But he scored for Man United in their pre-season game against Rangers a couple of weeks ago, so he's clearly sharply scored. Who did they play? They played Tranmere, didn't they, yesterday? And they won, and he scored in that game. So, yeah, I like what we're going to do. And I also like what Charlton are doing. Obviously, Alex Mitchell is one that hits close to the heart. Great signing for Charlton. Luke Berry's a good signing as well. I think I'm not quite sold on Gassan Hadme and Matty Godden scoring the goals to replace Alfie May. I think they'll be short in that department, but I'm sure Nathan Jones will have a budget, or they'll look to bring in a young forward from somewhere that will get the goals. So 2 teams that I think will be in and around the top 10, but still have a little bit of work to do, like you mentioned, to put a serious push in for that top 6.
And finally, my friends from Wrexham yesterday.
Oh yeah, you're popular in North Wales now, Ben, aren't you?
I don't think I've mentioned it. I got a couple of chants aimed at me yesterday for the first time ever. Cosvlogs are a necessary word that goes after that.
It rhymes with anchor, doesn't it?
Yeah, the butter, yeah. And I thought, oh, that's very friendly. Thanks for the nice North Wales.
Free advertising, mate.
Yeah, 2 W's, Wrexham against Wycombe. No Paul Mullin next weekend, but the forward options he's still got. One being Jack Marriott, the Elliot Lee's just behind as well. Strong team. They dominated proceedings yesterday on the ball, looked in control. Fleetwood didn't really do anything, had no sting to the play. But we're talking about Wrexham. Good pre-season campaign, back-to-back promotions. 199 points, 205 goals over the last 2 seasons. 2 promotions in there as well. Signed well. Scar's come in, Burton's come in. Plymouth link up as well. Promotions out of this league as well. I don't think I've been blown away by Wrexham's business. I think it's been steady. I think it's been good. They've not really lost anyone. I don't think it's needed to be outstanding out of this world. Maybe like a Stockport who lost key players who they moved on as well. And then Wycombe have signed Udo. They've signed Hartington from Exeter as well. They've signed very, very well. I think Wycombe could go under the radar a little bit this year.
Yeah, I do. Just on Wrexham, I don't... Difficult because I don't think a lot of their squad are top-end League One players like I think a lot of their fans are making out. Paul Mullin is extremely untested at this level. Very good at the level below, very good at the level below that. But once he steps into League One, hasn't particularly hit the mustard. So I don't particularly think that's... I don't think they've got a squad that will be capable of fighting towards the top end. If they can bring in the likes of McAtee, if they can, they've brought in Scar, who is definitely a top 8 League One defender, then we'll see how that goes. For Wycombe, I agree. I think their takeover has been interesting. I was kind of expecting to see a few more Kazakhstani, Georgians to rock up, given that's the background of the owner. But I think what they have done in Udo, Backinson's been good at this level before for Wednesday. Didn't have a good spell at Charlton last season, but they've still got the likes of Luke Leahy in the squad. Kieran Sadlier, who caused a lot of problems last year for a lot of teams. So, yeah, I think Wycombe are one that will... It's difficult because I think they're going to fall short to the rest of the league getting stronger, and that will be reflected in my table that comes out tomorrow, and I'm sure it will be in yours. But I still think they're a very good side and will certainly bully a few noses of the teams that are the so-called bigger teams, which is back to the Wycombe Wanderers way.
Absolutely. We've got 86 people with us, 88 now. It's just ticked over. You could like the stream. That'd be appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're now 171 away from 15,000 subscribers. My League One predictions come out tomorrow. So what better time as well? Now, last season, we didn't really do a competitive element because I knew Fleetwood were quite bad at football and I thought I don't want to lose. This year, me and Jake had a chat about it and I bet he's forgot. You forgot, aren't you, what we're going to do, aren't you, for our competitive element?
No.
What are we doing then, mate? Do you want to tell everyone? I
forgot to read the script and I was too busy looking at the Copper 90 email.
Yeah. So this season, we are going to predict games live on
air. We're going to do score predictions.
We're going to do a score prediction for every League One game in the next week. Now, I'll let you keep, because you did such a good job last year, you can keep score of
I did do a good job last year.
You did a very good job. Yeah, I had to count sometimes that you're doing it right. And you guys can join in below. Leave your predictions down below and come back next week, tell us how many points you got. But what we're going to do this, and at the end of the year, we'll pick a forfeit. We're not going to do shirts again, I think, as well. Or we could do, I think we should do shirts. Should we do shirts again?
No, we're not doing shirts, mate. You ain't got a shirt big enough for me.
Oh, wow. You can just use it.
One of your shirts would be like a crop top. Yeah, literally.
Yeah. And I know somebody who would quite like that.
Moving on.
Barnsley against Mansfield. Are you going first or second this week?
It's your channel, mate.
I'll go first this week. Barnsley, Mansfield. I'm going to go for Barnsley 2, Mansfield 0.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I think Barnsley are going to have Mansfield's pants down. I'm going to go Barnsley 3, Mansfield 0. I will make note of these, Ben. Don't worry.
Right, you're going to keep note of them, right?
I'll watch it back tomorrow and make a note of it.
Good lad. I put an advert in front, so I get paid a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Birmingham against Reading.
You're going first, mate. Come on.
I'm going to go for 2-1 to Birmingham.
Birmingham, Reading. 1-0 Blues. Narrow win, but I think Alfie May will get the season up and running.
Bristol Rovers, Northampton. I'm going to go for Bristol Rovers 2, Northampton 0, which completes a hat-trick of home wins.
Are we allowed to go for the same scores?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go Bristol Rovers 2, Northampton 1.
You know, it's a free country, mate. Do what you want. Burton Albion, Lincoln. I'm going to go for Burton 1, Lincoln 2.
Yeah, I've said this to David. I'm going to go Burton 0, Lincoln 2. I think we're going to beat them.
I'm going to go for Crawley 0, Blackpool 1.
Crawley 1, Blackpool 1. Got a feeling they might nick something, you know. Crawley.
Exeter 1, Rotherham 1.
No. I think Exeter will lose this game by 1-0.
Leyton Orient 0, Bolton 2.
Orient 1, Bolton 2 for me.
Peterborough United 2, Huddersfield Town 1.
1 apiece, I think. I'm going to go sit on the fence.
Stevenage 2, Shrewsbury Town 0.
Stevenage 1, Shrewsbury 0.
Stockport County 2, Cambridge United 0.
Stockport County 3, Cambridge United 1.
Wigan 1, Charlton 1.
Wigan 1, Charlton 1.
Wrexham 2, Wycombe 1.
Wrexham 1, Wycombe 2.
Oh, hello. Wow, big calls. So we've got about 10 minutes left of the show left. Get your questions in down below. And if you haven't already, I've been going live a lot on TikTok lately and uploading to TikTok.
And I'm obligated to bloody watch them.
Yeah, you are.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. So come and follow us on CODS Vlogs on TikTok if you haven't already.
There's another TikTok account to plug as well, Ben.
Oh, yeah, and that Football League podcast as well if you want to come over and join us as well. So plenty of content coming your way. And get subscribing if you haven't already.
I think what we need to do, Ben, for these predictions, because I am worried that it will get a bit stale, I think we need to perhaps, because we have a bit more time on these shows normally, I think if we're able to give some sort of reasoning as to why we've given that prediction, rather than just go like a tennis match, we can give.
Next week we'll do that.
I'd like the viewers to get as much out of this show as possible. So I'd like us, you know.
Now Fleetwood have been relegated. You've got the most celebrity fans in League One.
Me and Sue, no questions asked.
Well, you're a nobody. What was the pronunciation of Ben? Sorry, Wycombe. There you are. Will Birmingham get 100 plus points?
No.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think if anyone's going to get 100 points in any of the leagues, it's going to be MK Dons. You Dons. There's another account, Ben. There you are. Go and give Tom a follow as well. You think Charlton are going to get an away win at Wigan? Get some high score lines in. Yeah, says Jack. Yeah. So get your questions in your next 5 minutes or so. Thoughts on Elijah Campbell, Jake?
No idea who he is, but I heard he was pretty bad for Fleetwood. So I think he might win a Ballon d'Or in the next 5 years.
Oh, no, me and Jack love him. Me and Jack love him, sorry. Yeah. We didn't get into a Wetherspoon yesterday, a place where I actually work because of him wearing a Fleetwood shirt. So thanks a lot, Jack.
Hideous Fleetwood shirt as well.
We had a nice Mackey's date together.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did I do yesterday? I met one of my old friends who I used to work at the co-op, the guy called AD.
A lot of friends.
He bought me a cherry and pineapple cider from the Tipsy Imp. It was lovely.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It's not like you not to buy your own drinks, is it?
No. You know me, mate. I'm
always got you all out buying other people.
I'm a man of the people.
Yeah, man of the people. his wallet was last seen in 2004. It might be seen a lot more
Are you
this
asking
week.
the question? Are you going to? We've got questions coming in. Here you
I
are.
know we have. Best fans in League One.
Come on.
Home fans, Lincoln. Away fans. Ooh, that
Blues fans are good away from home.
Yeah,
I've
I'll go with
always
that. I've
liked
never seen
Blues fans away from home.
We love you for Fleetwood. We do. Why is everyone overestimate? I don't think Charlton will get into my top 6. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, me and you went through I went through my 1 to 24, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, mine and Jake's are quite similar. It's
We're
scary.
quite similar. I don't think he'll score. I think he might score 10. He's looked on fire in pre-season, by the way, Jovan McCann.
Yes, that is going to be announced this week. So if you want to follow me on, in my latest, not my League One predictions, but in one of my videos this week, that'll be announced on my YouTube, my TikTok, and my Twitter. Just get over there.
And the T-flop one's already, well, you'll be able to hear about it. Or if you're a premium T-flopper, you'll already know about it. But there is if you keep your ears to the ground for tomorrow, there will be an announcement.
Who gets sacked first?
Ooh. Well, he's a Blues fan, so if I said Chris Davis, I'd find that pretty funny.
No.
I don't think he'll get sacked, but I could see a world where Scott Lindsay walks.
Yeah.
Relatively early for a more. Let's say, for example, there's a job come up. I don't know, maybe top end of League 2, or maybe someone in League 1 has left, or have a look.
So
I think a lot of managers are quite safe, actually.
So all I'm going to say is, right, there's a question here from Will.
Maybe
my League One predictions, I started at 9 o'clock on Friday, having in mind all these sheets of paper here. I'm going
where's my book?
Be further away. That's one piece. The 2.
Do you do a page per team, Ben?
I do half a page per team, and I'll show you my other page of notes in a minute. 4. I did about 8 pages, I think.
So
5.
I've done a page on each team of all their current squad, their transfers in and out. I would go and get it, but I don't want to go off camera.
And so I've got 7 pages there, and then what I do have is a good stack of notes of all the results from last season as well, all the lineups who've gone, and like that's League 2, for example, for League 1 and League 2. So that's kind of behind. If you want to join, actually, behind the scenes of my predictions, we're uploading a video to the membership page of how I make my predictions as well, and like my different notes and how I plan it. So if you are interested in seeing that, if you join as a member for $1.99 a month,
definitely
you get 1 extra video per week uploaded, and you get access to 15 previous videos, which is like you get one behind the scenes at Wembley, which is half an hour long. You get a couple of walking Q&As behind the scenes of what I do, an extra match day vlog out there as well. So there's loads of content as well. We've got, I think, around 50 members. I think 49 members at the last count. So if you want to be my 50th member, I think we're 1 membership away from 50 members again.
Oh, don't tell Links that. He'll be buying them for everybody.
So if you want to join as a member, the link is down below. It starts at $1.99 and you get a video every week as well. And this week is behind the scenes of membership. And then we've got a good couple ones as well. We might even do an EFL fantasy draft over there as well, me picking my team. So if you want to see that, join as a member as well. Join the gang. It's really fun over there. And we're going to do some more fun things with you members down below.
You've already picked your team, haven't you?
Say again? No, I've not done it.
Have you not in the league yet?
No, I've not done anything. Most underrated League One player. Tough question. Because when we say him, he's going to be rated, isn't he?
I'm thinking.
I'll go for Archie Collins at Peterborough. He's a good player. Doesn't get the hype he deserves. Archie Collins or Joe Randall from Peterborough.
I think somebody like Demi Mitchell at Exeter for me.
League top goal scorer this year.
Your best mate, Alfie May. Got to be.
Yeah, agree. I can't say that. I'm renewing my membership as well. I just realised that mine expired. Legend Tom, thank you very much, mate. Ben has 2 pages for Lincoln. Oh, love that, Sue. Which ground should I avoid most this season?
I still need to go pick up my brownies from Sue, actually.
Oh, don't make me hungry. I've been being good
Oh,
lately. I've been being very good lately, Jay. In the gym, making sure I'm eating well. Lost a bit of body fat, lost a bit of weight over the summer as well, which is important. But no,
There's a good one about underachievers there, Ben.
yeah, I want some of Sue's brownies now. I do get them made for me. I'll be honest with you. I do pay someone to get them made. So any bit that we get, through the channel, so like whether it's memberships, donations, or making our money, does go back into supporting the channel. What a guy!
I told you. You shouldn't have said that with him about.
Links. I didn't even know he was about. Links has gifted another membership. Not only is he the best barber in Lincoln, that's another thing Lincoln have got the best of. Best cathedral, best bake, best dog.
Speaking of which, Jack, we need to get this sorted.
I'll tell you who's got a membership. George, if you're in the chat.
Well done, George.
You've got you've got David Williams and Matt Lucas, a picture from what's it called? The program. Little Britain. You've accessed the membership thanks to Listman. So thanks so much, Links as well. If you want to join them, get down below, join as a member. It would really help me out a lot as well. And let's really attack this year as well, because everything I do earn goes back into the channel as well. Who do you think will be the biggest and underachievers? I think overachievers, I think Wycombe could do better than I've even said, and others say, and I think Charlton maybe, and maybe Bristol Rovers. I think Bristol Rovers, Matt Taylor could also be in trouble this year as well at some point.
Biggest underachievers for me, I'm going to say Stevenage.
Overachievers or underachievers?
Underachievers. Stevenage.
Tell you what, that does not show how far they've come as a football club when we're saying.
Massively so. Massively so.
Hi, guys. I live in Northern Ireland, but although I've always supported Manchester United,
He's a Charlton fan.
I'm 66 tomorrow. Hello, Richard. Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Where's he from, mate? Where's he from? Where's he born in the hospital in where?
Southwark.
I think it's Southwark. I would guess.
Oh yeah.
I don't think those people down south pronounce the W's, mate.
He's a member. Join Jack as a member. Join Sue as a member. Who else?
I'm a member.
His mum's a member as well. Who else? The Tricky Tone's a member. Sam's a member. Legends.
Yeah.
Links is a member, of course. Links is a member. Legends, the absolute lot of you. And even if you're not a member, you're legends.
You've got somewhere to be, Ben, remember?
I have. We've got 2 minutes left of the show. So if you could subscribe, that'd be massively appreciated. Forgot about predictions, get your own.
He's on about the protest.
Unbelievable.
I would maybe not pay attention to that, given his follow-up comment. But I don't think that's something to talk about on a football stream, personally.
No, exactly. Great show again. Same time again tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow, League 2 Live. If you want to join me, and if you want to, have a nice show without this one here, come and join me and Josh tomorrow, 8 o'clock live. And I tell you what, if you fancy a bit of extra nappers tonight, we're going to do a TikTok live about 10 o'clock, 10:15. We're not finished yet. Do not go to bed.
I need to go to bed. I've got a bike to work in the morning because I've got no car.
Hey, walk. It's a 15-minute walk, boy. Walk. It'll do you good.
Rest.
Yeah. Great podcast, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe. I'll see you later. If you could subscribe, we're so close to 15,000 subscribers. I'm itching. I'm itching like the start of the League 1 and a League 2 season. We've got Grimsby on Saturday, but you can hear me talk about that tomorrow night on League 2 Live. Until then, I'll see you later. Thanks very much for watching. Drive safe. Up the cards. Jake, any final words?
Up the T-flop and up them beautiful imps.
Good luck to your team this weekend. We'll be here next Sunday for the first review of the match week. Can't wait to see you guys. See you later. Oops, wrong one. Wrong one. That's tomorrow.
Oh my God, he's done it again.
We've done it again.
Come on, Nappers. And
yeah.
Well done, mate. Good work.
It's good that. Good show, boy.
Enjoyed it.
All right, that wasn't it.
God, I'm ready for bed. Oh yeah, Birmingham have just announced Luke Harris.
Unbelievable.